Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Friday, June the 5th, and I apologize for the lack of videos this week. I've been having some audio issues. I've been uploading the videos, but the audio component has not been uploading, and I am working to figure that out. So, as we head into the weekend, we've had a short trading week with Canada Day on Monday, if you're in Canada, and Independence Day yesterday in the US. We can see that the three averages, the Dow Jones is off slightly, but pretty much at parity, just 29 points into the red here as we head into the open in about 50 minutes. We've got the NASDAQ up 27 points, so kind of counterbalancing the Dow, and the S&P basically flat, but up 0.5 of a point, so half a point. We just had the unemployment numbers and jobs data roll in, and it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of what we received. Not really telling us much, really, based on the conflicting information. So let's go over to our YouTube app and take a look there. What we can see at the top of the screen is crude is starting to make a move upwards towards $84. I think that as crude continues its trend upwards, which it seems to have been doing and has been carrying on for the last couple of weeks, it's going to carry those oil stocks higher. And we have seen that happening. I think that trend will continue. You can see the NASDAQ futures are climbing a little, and we still have the VIX, the 30-day volatility index, below 13, which is a very good range for some positive growth still and low risk trading environment within the market. If we scroll down through health and retail, you can see that most of these are in the green going into the open. Again, we're an hour out, but at this point, we're seeing more green than red on the screen. These are not areas that I would be focusing on for returns at this point. These sectors are kind of out of favor unless you're in this for the long term, and then you could certainly pick up some stocks at attractive discounts, or in the case of Nike, or stocks that are making their way up and inching up slowly, day by day, week by week, and that's really the healthcare sector and what's been happening there. Take Humana as an example. If you look at the last 6 months, it's starting to recover from its lows back in April. Not to say that it's going to get back up into the 460s anytime soon, but I do think on earnings we could see this in the July-August timeframe get back into the 380, 390 range, maybe up into the low 400s. So it is starting to trend back upwards. If we go down to transport, I'm looking at JB Hunt this morning. I really like JB Hunt if it's trading down in the 157 range. We're 11 days out from earnings. They had a bad earnings report in the last quarter, which sent the stock tumbling from the 218 level all the way, or above 200s, all the way down to the 154 level. So we're almost at a low we are at a low for the last year, for the last 12 months. And I think there's some recovery in line here. So I think this is going to be a strong buy and hold over the next 2 weeks. I think you will see that stock get back up into the mid 160s, maybe even into the mid 170s. As we roll down into oil, most of the stocks here are green on the screen. The one I'm going to be following today, which is flat right now, is Valero, one of my all-time favorites in this sector. But not to be undone is Consolidated Edison. I'm looking for further drops in Consolidated Edison. If we look at the 1 month chart, you can see that this has been dropping like a stone, and we called that when it hit 83 in the high 93s, saying that it was peaking and I would get out and sell and wait for this to come back down into the 86 to 88 range. So if this drops down below 88, I think it's an attractive purchase. If you look at the 6 month, you'll notice that it had a peak in the May-June timeframe and then has fallen off through June and into now July. But you can see the volatility previous to that. So you can see that you're in that trading envelope here of anywhere from 86, 87, so call it $87 up to $90, which is a nice 3% spread in a very short period of time. And that happened quite a lot over these last few months or the beginning months of the year. So I'm looking for that trend to come back. So I'm keeping an eye on Consolidated Edison. The beauty with Consolidated Edison is if you do get into this stock and it takes a bit of a dip, you're getting a 3.74% dividend on that if you hold it. So that's an annual percentage that you're getting there, but that is a pretty strong dividend when interest rates are in around 5.5%. If we scroll down a little bit further and go into tech, what we'll notice in tech is that, again, mostly green on the screen. We can see Salesforce is making its way back from the low 300s and 330s. We can see CrowdStrike is trying to break through that 390 range. We'll see whether it gets past that today. Micron had a good day, recovered a little bit from its earnings report, which wasn't unfavorable by any means in terms of earnings and revenue, but they kind of missed on, I think, future forecast even hit with expectations. It just wasn't good enough for analysts, and it did fall after earnings. But I do think that MU or Micron will come back. Scrolling down further and looking at where we're going to find some activity today, I think we're going to see some activity in the likes of Meta. So if we scroll down to Meta, Meta has been hovering in a range of the 490 through to 520. Took a big dip on Monday. Great day to buy into that. And then it's starting to recover. I bought some Meta yesterday. Wednesday. Yesterday was the holiday. I bought some Wednesday in the 407, 408 range. I do think this is going to get up into, 508, 507, 508. I think this will get into the 5 teens, the 512, 15 range today if we were to see the NASDAQ jump further ahead. NVIDIA's made a great comeback on Wednesday up at the 428 range. The rest of the semis look pretty good today going into the day. We've got Broadcom is up, Lam Research is up, AMD is up, ARM is up into the positive. That tells me that it's going to be a good day for NVIDIA as well. So if this opens down a little bit, I think it's an opportune time to buy some NVIDIA and watch that break through the 130s and maybe get to the low 130s today. Google, another one that's been doing well. I'm waiting for a bit of a pullback on Google. I'm not getting into that. Adobe's been making a comeback, and I've been riding that wave, but I've been holding it because I've been in a lost position in that because I had bought in earlier this year and then it took a dive. I'm back even in one and still under in another position, but I think we're going to see Adobe break through 600 by the end of August. And then finally down into banking, the quiet little sector that is that is climbing steadily, kind of behind the scenes and under the radar. This is the group of companies that's going to have the first set of earnings released in the next couple of weeks. I do believe that you'll be in good stead with Goldman, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan. JP Morgan already nearing 1-year high, so I'm staying away from some of these bigger names, all three of those that I just mentioned, until I see a bit of a pullback, which I do expect will occur before their earnings come out. So I'm waiting for those companies to pull back a little before earnings, and then they'll have an opportunity to pop if earnings are good. The other one that I'm a solid believer in is SoFi. I think you're in good shape there at 652. This is a stock that I think by the end of July, maybe end of August, will definitely be $1 more in value, up in the 752 range. So that's where we are today. Good luck with your trades. If you're